Hey everyone, I'm Lindsay from Lindsay with Love, energy coach for women, and I'm hoping you're having a great day and a great start to another beautiful week. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, just want to say welcome. Thank you for joining us. At Lindsay with Love, we talk all things energy healing, raising our vibration, really starting to attract and magnetize this beautiful, exciting, passionate life that we all deserve and most likely all desire. So we talk all things healing the chakras, cleansing the energy flow, and really increasing your vibration so you start just attracting beautiful things straight into your lap. And if you're a returning subscriber, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. I'm very grateful for you. Thanks for coming over to my channel and supporting me each week. I truly appreciate it. So this week, I wanted to get a little bit more personal with you guys, with my personal journey and my kind of spiritual journey, just in hopes that it inspires some of you to really, step out of your own comfort zone and really start speaking your truth and really start embracing who you are as, a very unique and special human being on this planet. Almost exactly a year ago, to the day that I'm posting this video, I was involved in a really awful car accident. One that I am very lucky to say that I am alive today from. I was taking a left turn at an intersection. I was coming off the freeway, taking a left turn at the street, and as soon as I looked to my left to turn, I saw a car just barreling at me. And the guy was going probably 55 miles an hour. And as soon as I saw him, I knew we were going to collide. And it's like time stopped. I couldn't do anything. I was going, he was coming. It was just going to be what it was. And so as soon as I saw him, all I could think was, please don't flip, please don't flip, please don't flip. Because at the time I was driving in my convertible and I had the top down. And all I could think was, if I flip, things are going to be very bad. So please don't flip. We collided. I'm pretty sure I blacked out because I don't really remember much after, the initial impact until I opened my eyes. And when I opened my eyes, I had realized I just spun in a bunch of circles. I was now facing the traffic that was going to be turning right behind me. So I had spun a few times. I was facing now the oncoming traffic. He was in the other lane across the barriers all the way on the other side of the street. And both of our cars were completely totaled. And I didn't have this like near-death experience situation where like my life flashed before my eyes and I saw all the good things I did and all of the things that maybe I'm regretful of or have forgiven myself for. But I did wake up and have a very surreal kind of feeling and moment. And when I came to, I was just so shocked. I just kind of held the steering wheel and I just kind of looked around for a second. I looked at myself and I made sure I was intact and, everything around me was just kind of, it's like time stopped, right? Completely standing still. And there was a man who was next to me. And the man was, kind of your average man, middle-aged man, buzzed head, glasses. And I'm not saying he appeared out of nowhere, but it very much felt like, where did this man come from, right? I'm in the middle of the intersection. Where did this man come from? And he looked at me and he asked me, "Are you okay?" And I couldn't say anything initially. And then when I realized he was talking to me, I said, "I am so grateful. I'm so grateful." And he looked at me and I must have looked like I was going to start to cry. And it was kind of starting to all kind of hit me at once. The adrenaline was rushing and I started to kind of realize what had just happened. And he was like, "Don't cry, don't cry." And all I kept sobbing was, "I am so grateful, I am so grateful." And so after that, the man kind of almost disappeared. I have no idea where he went. If he was on the scene, he did not stick around. And very quickly after that, just with the technology in my car, police were on the scene, ambulances were on the scene. It was very fast. Everything was happening very quickly. After that, there was another guy, two guys actually, who came to my side in the middle of the intersection, and they asked me, do you want to get out of your car? And I was just so afraid at that point. I was sitting in the middle of the intersection, and I was just so scared to even get out of my car, because this car had basically just saved my life. And now here I am by myself in the middle of an intersection, not knowing anybody. The guy that's in the other car is very upset. He's in my face yelling at me about how his car is ruined. It was just a really scary moment. So for those two men who stopped their lives, who set aside hours of their time to stay with me until my partner could come and I could be, safe with police around me, so the other people, weren't going to come after me or whatever. I'm very grateful for those two men. And speaking of gratitude, since that day, I have lived in such a space of gratitude. So I have to be grateful for the accident as well. I kind of look at this accident as like my second day to be alive. So I have my birthday, and then I have the day that I, could have totally left this earth and somehow was saved. I totally believe with 100% of all my heart that that day is the day that my heart chakra opened. I see the world completely differently now than I ever did before, even at the beginning of my spiritual journey, up until that day, and then after that day. It's been a complete shift in my perception of the world. A couple of months prior to this accident, my dad passed away. Him and I share a birthday, so it was just like a really strange time, and I believe with all my heart that he saved me and kept me on this planet that day. The weekend before that accident, I was at an entrepreneur convention. I'd been a part of this group for a few years. I was finally meeting some friends that I had had for a while. I was working on a business. After I left that convention, I was convinced that that group was not for me. I was convinced that that business was not for me. And all of this kind of just happened all at once, right? And then 3 days later, I had a birthday. I turned a fresh page. So all of this to say that when your life is taken or could be taken from you like that, it's likely that you will become kind of a new person. And I'm grateful for that day, because that day pushed me out of my comfort zone. It pushed me out of a business that wasn't really working for me and I felt out of alignment with for many years. It pushed me out of a group that I had been out of alignment with for a couple of years. It pushed me to stand in my power, to increase my vibration even more, to increase my confidence even more, to use my voice and my natural talents and gifts that I was given to help as many people as I can. It gave me the strength to speak my truth. And so yes, for that I will always be grateful. It just so happens that after, I was like 3 months later from that accident, so 3 months had gone by, I had this weird inclination to just lie down and meditate one Saturday afternoon. I typically meditate in my bedroom. I don't ever usually meditate in this room that I'm sitting in, but I just had this idea to just lie down on the ground or on the floor and put my head in where the sun was hitting. And I just started meditating. A weird calling, right? And I lay down in my meditation, and it was seconds after I had dropped in that I heard this like booming voice, and it was just so clear to me. Blue, the color blue had like taken over my body, and it said throat chakra activation twice. And ever since that moment, I have built my new business, Lindsay with Love. I am connecting with numerous people all over the world. I'm helping my students find their confidence, find their clarity, right? Find their truth, rebalance their chakras so they can raise their vibration and just start building this amazing life for themselves. So it was like boom, boom, boom. Car accident, heart chakra, throat chakra. Here I am telling my story. So I hope this was an inspiration for you. Is there something in your life that you are passionate about? Lindsay with Love has been my passion for many years. I've always loved helping people. I've always been the friend, kind of the go-to friend for advice. I've always been like the go-to person for just like motivation, uplifting, looking at things from a different perspective. In one of my work reviews, when I still worked in a career, my boss wrote in the review that I am an old soul, which I thought was a very interesting thing to review somebody about, especially when I was working in a raw material sourcing position. So yeah, it's always been my passion. And I had this passion kind of hidden and tucked away because I wasn't quite ready. Maybe I didn't have the confidence. Maybe I wasn't ready to communicate. I was nervous what other people would think. So is there something in your life that is holding you back from doing these things, from speaking your truth, from finding your passion, really living your passion? If there is, I'd love to chat with you. Shoot me a message. I'm on Facebook at Lindsay with Love. I'm on Instagram at Lindsay with Love. You can find me at lindsaywithlove.com. And I'd love to just chat with you. I'd love to help kind of just bring that out of you, because I don't want you to go through what I had to go through, which is, a very scary experience, just to be able to live your truth, right? We are on this earth for a reason. It is our birthright to be happy. It is our birthright to be healthy, to be wealthy, to be abundant, to be all those things. And so I would love to be able to help you, guide you, teach you, help you just figure it out. And I hope this story inspires you. If you have been playing it safe or playing on the sidelines, life is so short. We do not know when we're going to go. We don't know when we're going to be born. We don't know when we're going to leave, right? Well, we sort of do know when we're going to be born, but I'll leave that for a different segment. But we don't know. And so why not spend every day doing the things you love, doing the things you're so passionate about, maintaining your health, preventing illness, maintaining, your happiness, your joy, your passion, all those things. So I hope this story was helpful for you guys to just learn a little bit more about me and my spiritual journey and, things that I've experienced. And perhaps I'll continue to share some of these more personal things about me, just so you guys we can connect a little bit more on a more personal level. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. As I mentioned before, I'm all things about energy healing, raising your vibration, really living through love, living out your passions, having a day-to-day life that you are so excited about. Because I know, especially now, I am so excited about mine, and I love helping people become so excited about theirs too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all next week.